Long ago, in the frostbitten northern lands of Glaciera, where snow never melted and time felt frozen, there lived a fairy feared and worshipped alike Eira, the Ice Fairy. She was born of a shattered star and the breath of the north wind. Her wings were crystal white, her touch could freeze rivers, and her beauty was unmatched, but her heart, they said, was solid ice. No one dared go near her frozen palace, built on the tallest mountain peak. It was whispered that she had once loved, but betrayal from the human world had turned her soul to ice. Since then, Eira cursed Glaciera with eternal winter. Seasons stopped, flowers vanished, and the skies grew silent. The people of the nearby kingdom, Thalion, suffered under this curse. Crops failed, lakes froze over, and no sunlight reached their fields. Desperate kings sent warriors to fight her, but none returned. Priests prayed, sorcerers cast spells. Nothing worked. Until came Prince Riven. He was no warrior, no wielder of magic. Just a soft-spoken, kind-hearted prince who spent more time helping villagers than attending royal banquets. When he heard about the Ice Fairy, he didn't see her as a monster but as someone who might be hurting. If winter stays until her heart heals, he said, then maybe it isn't power she needs, but warmth. Against the protests of his father, Riven climbed the deadly path to Mount Valara where Eira lived. Blizzards roared, trees shattered under ice, and beasts stalked him in the storm. But he pressed on, not with weapons, but with a heart full of hope. At last, he reached her Palacia palace carved from ice, glowing with pale light and sorrow. Eira appeared before him, her presence silent and cold. "Why have you come, human?" she asked, her voice like snowfall. "To see you," he said, without fear. She tried to frighten him. She summoned spears of ice, made the air so cold he could barely breathe. But still, he stood. "Why do you not run?" she asked. "Because I see pain in your eyes," Riven said. "And pain deserves kindness, not fear." Something inside Eira cracked so small, like the first drip of meltwater from a frozen leaf. Over the next days, she allowed him to stay. They walked through the silent halls of her palace. He listened to her story of how she once saved a dying kingdom, only to be betrayed by a prince who used her power for war. Of how her sister, another fairy, was slain trying to protect her. Eira had frozen her heart to survive. But now, Riven listened without asking anything in return. He didn't want her power. He only wanted her peace. Slowly, the frost began to retreat. A single flower bloomed outside her palace, something that hadn't happened in centuries. But something else began to happen too. The curse of eternal winter was linked to her pain. The more she healed, the weaker her power grew. Melting her heart meant losing her strength, her immortality, her protection. "If I let myself love you," she whispered, "I may never be a fairy again." Riven took her hand gently. "Then let us both be human, but together." Tearsreal. Warm tears fell from Eira's eyes for the first time. The frozen palace shattered around them like breaking glass. Light returned to Glaciera. The skies cleared. Birds sang. Eira collapsed in his arms, her wings vanishing into glowing snowflakes. But she smiled, feeling warmth for the first time in centuries. They returned to Thalion not as a prince and a fairy, but as two people in love. The people wept with joy as spring returned. Flowers bloomed where her feet touched. Children who had never seen sunlight danced in the warm wind. Though Eira had lost her powers, she had gained something far greater. A heart that could love again. Moral of the story: sometimes the coldest hearts are only waiting for the right warmth. And the greatest magic is found not in power but in kindness and understanding.